but also I definitely put some work in as well, and it's so
More
exciting
than
to
more
see.
than some.
Yeah, it's so exciting to see these races showcasing Rando 4 to celebrate the fifth anniversary of uh, this game we all love.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar, Randomizer 4 is the new update of the randomizer mod for 1.5. It is honestly scary at this point how easy it is to install mods with the new installer and everything.
Yeah,
And there are so many new and spicy features that you can play around with. It makes playing with your friends easier. We're also going to be seeing today the showcase of the Itemsync mod, which was originally developed by Shadow Dev, I believe, and that
yeah,
is something that makes multiplayer so much easier in randomizer because whenever somebody you're playing with picks up a check, you pick up the same check. So it has just made, 2v2 races like this so much more viable for a showcase format, which is really exciting.
yeah. So hopefully, so I guess we should probably introduce the randomizers. So
Yes.
basically, all of the important things like skills, like our favorite movement, dash, claw, wings, etc. Um, charms, dreamers, as well as slightly less useful things like rancid eggs and soul totems, have been shuffled and put at different spots. And our racers will need to find the well. The goal is to defeat Radiance, which means they'll need to find three fragments, three dreamers, and hopefully some damage, so they can actually win the fight. Um, so we've got a good seed for you
A
today,
very
hopefully.
good seed.
Yeah. If
Um,
you use the exclamation point spoiler command in chat, you can find where the placements are, which is what
yes.
the runners are currently looking at.
And I'm already seeing
Um,
a lot of discussion in chat about the seed. And so
yeah,
first of all, claw is not technically required for the seed. You can complete it clawless, but it involves
yeah,
doing a number of skips, including the Beast Den skip, which is very time consuming, a Shade skip up to Grey Mourner because you can't even consider the Path of Pain Dreamer without claw, a few other
yeah,
things. So we'll see if any team decides to disregard the 22 grub requirement for claw. We could have one team go one way and one team the other way, but based on Flibs and my current estimate, I think that 22 grubs is a bit more reasonable unless you feel like you can
yeah.
really churn out those content skips.
And obviously, like, who wouldn't want to rescue 22 grubs?
Right, exactly. And
Um,
it's a bit
yeah,
sad if they decide to just wantonly disregard all of them.
exactly. So, in seeing some questions about if the grubs were randomized. So the grubs are not randomized. So grubs will be at the vanilla location. So there'll be a grub in the middle of crossroads, a grub,
Mhm.
um, like all the well, wherever all the grubs are. Um, but they are synced. So the racers might split it up 11 grubs each, or maybe one of them will get all of 22 of the grubs while the other
Right.
racer is getting other stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, and we could
Is
see
there a
somebody work
yeah,
towards getting wings, for example, while the other goes around and works towards
yeah,
claw, but ultimately it's hard to get 22 grubs wingless. That starts to get a little bit spicy as well. So it will be interesting to see how they
yeah?
play the vertical.
I think you can manage it.
Yes.
So for the settings, um, well, I can't remember which pools they randomized, but it includes soul totem. It's all the standard pools like skills, relics, and so on, plus lifeblood, soul totems, journal entries, junk pit chests. I think that might be it. Maybe boss essence and whispering roots as well.
Yeah.
Um,
I think Whispering Roots is
yeah,
definitely because I remember some things at Resting Grounds route, few other things. So
yeah.
yeah, Boss
There are
Essence as well,
no
I think.
There are no skips turned on, so if they wanted to, they could finish the seed without doing any skips. I
But
think we'll probably end up seeing some skips
I
because
think we will as well.
these races are good, or
Yeah,
these
they're quite
races
good.
have played a fair amount of Rando before,
Mhm. I'll definitely
but they
seasoned
won't have to if
veterans.
they don't want to.
Right.
We have a few duplicate items So there are 4 dreamers around, but they only need to get 3 of them. There are 4
Mhm.
fragments, but they only need to get 3 of them to get Void Heart.
Yes, and the
And there
notable
are
choice with the
yeah,
Dreamers is going to be between Path of Pain and the Flower Quest, um, because doing both is not exactly optimal.
yeah,
So, but they will
that
have to
would
do
be a
one. So it will be interesting to see what choice each team makes on that.
yeah. So they don't have to do Path of Pain if they don't want to.
Hmm.
I think if you could sort of skip having to do the left and right side of White Palace, then
Right.
maybe you'd want to do Path of Pain because it's, but you just have to do so much to get there.
Yes,
So at the
exactly.
moment we can see Palm trying to rescue. Is Jason still paused?
Jason?
Yeah, Palm's rescuing a grub, and so Palm just rescued a grub, and it popped up on Staxis's screen
Hmm.
in the top left, in the top right as well. Um, should we be
Yes.
worried about Jason?
I'm not quite
Uh,
sure. I mean, I
don't know.
assume that if he hadn't, I assume he started. I assume it's his stream that's not working. Yeah, so Lawrence saying Jason's source is live. So I think there's a restreaming issue. I'm not quite sure. Um,
Uh-oh.
but yeah, so what we're going to be seeing in this first part of the seed is it's fairly straightforward. First of all, there are very accessible dashes and crossroads, which is nice. But second of all, we're going to be seeing from